What's up, everybody? It's the Nerd Dan. How's it going, everyone?
Very good.
Happy Friday.
Hi.
Hi, happy Friday.
Hi.
I'm going to
What's
see
up?
if I have... hey, what's up, KG? Hail, Lord of the Nerds.
Hail.
All hail. I'm going to see if I have these pictures online. I took photos of the Marvel exhibit from a few weeks back. There's a bunch of shit going on right now. That's crazy.
The Dale Keown omnibus got canceled.
It got canceled?
Yeah.
I was watching Ethan's live stream where he talked about it.
Yeah.
And it was like a 5-hour live stream. I only watched about 3 hours of it. I kind of got the gist and I moved on.
Yeah. Well, it's probably going to happen after some other things, but it'll be at all caps.
Honestly, people were helping him, and people put the bug in Dale Keown's ear that these people are taking advantage of you. They're going to steal from you. It's not under your control, and he freaked out. And
who? But wait, I thought it was going to go under all caps anyway.
No.
Riot Press was helping him with it.
Who? What press?
Some little guy here in Florida whose comics Ethan has on his show, and he was helping him with it, and along with Billy Tucci was helping compile some of it too. And somebody got a dirt worm in his ear, and he freaked out, and the book got canceled.
What?
He freaked out. Dale's a paranoid dude.
And from what I understand, he was drinking too, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, he was drunk. Some earworm got in his ear. He freaked out. So Ethan said, "Okay, I'll do it."
Has he said he was going to do it?
No, they're going to do some other things first, like little campaigns.
Yeah.
It'd be like, hey, if you like the way we do business, we're going to do a poster campaign. Then we'll do a sketchbook. Those are quick. Those are easy. Put some money in your pocket. Then if that goes well, then we'll do the omnibus.
Yeah, part of the story was that I guess Dale Keown's in, I wouldn't say desperate need, but he really needed this for this to happen, and it all fell apart.
Well, it seems like it's the most obvious, simple thing to do ever. Like that dude, he could make $1 million. What's up, MK? How you doing? He could make $1 million simply by doing two things: one, a Pit omnibus, and two, a Pit artist edition.
Yeah,
and it would be over. Like he would make $1 million. Like it's obvious.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Well, it's
hey,
man,
and get off his ass and do a new issue of Pit.
Yeah, well, yeah, that'll never happen. You see the amount of detail that dude puts into his work nowadays. Like I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sure he'll put out a new book.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be Barry Windsor Smith Monsters, where it takes him 30 years.
Yeah. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy the sketchbook. I'm going to buy the Pit omnibus once it finally comes out. I'm going to buy it. It's just,
of course,
I know Dale is insanely slow.
He's an auteur.
Yeah, it's like pulling teeth.
Yeah, he's an auteur, and his stuff is just insane. His stuff is so good. So I understand.
Yeah, it was a whole big bunch of drama when it all happened. Like, it was silly. It was silly. It's like, this is all one big dumb misunderstanding.
Yep. And it all happened at the 11th hour too. It was really last minute.
Well, whoever put a bug in his ear should be. I don't know, man. That's really messed up.
It's the same people that are all. It's a bunch of people that have become antis. That's just what they do.
That's just what they do, is throw shade.
Yeah.
Well, we got a whole bunch of shit going on tonight, man. There's a ton of stuff to talk about, and really good stuff going on. I'll tell you. I'll show you a couple things. So we got some in-house news. Web3 Comic Con is going strong, doing well. We're desperately trying to get this live early, like live. Like it's already live, but we haven't promoted it or done any sales or anything like that, but we're going to start that next week. So that gives us a good runway to run through August, because the online convention is mid-August, August 16th, 17th, and 18th. Been doing interviews, been meeting people. It's behind the scenes. Things are going. I mean, I think they're going pretty well. It's just a mountain. The first year when you do this kind of thing is just like Adult Fantasy Season 1. Like the first time you do it, it's just a colossal mountain, right? Because you start with 0 assets. There's nothing done. And then once you have it done, well, then next year it'll be much easier. You know what I mean? We'll already have the systems. We'll already have the flow, and we can just like kind of spend all of our time getting just a ton of people. So it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. I know Dusty's looking forward to more work too.
You know, it's kind of like we need to build a train track, but we have to go grow the trees and cut the trees down first to make them into wood and mine the iron and make it into train tracks.
While the train is coming.
While the train is coming, that's right. While the train is coming very, very fast. But we're getting there.
We are getting there, yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely. So that's working. It's kind of sucked up all of our time because it's just so much work, but we've got some pretty big announcements with some really good people, and we're hustling to get more people, and I mean, it's a big undertaking, but I think it's good for the space. I think it's good for all the projects involved, including Adult Fantasy, because it's getting us, we're headlining a show, man. Like it doesn't get bigger than that. So it's pretty exciting. So that's some really good in-house news. The other in-house news is, I guess I wasn't going to talk about it because I talked about it off air, but I finally got Rageus's drawing done. So on top of all the Comic-Con stuff, I finally got Rageus's drawing done.
You really shouldn't talk about it till it's in the mail.
I know, but I feel like I need proof of life at this point. I have to. The only thing I'm waiting on now is that I'm ordering. Dusty sending me something. Yep, absolutely. I'll do that next. So I'll show you this really quick. Don't tell Rageus that it's still on my desk. No, I'm kidding. It's I'm actually just waiting. I'm gonna get some good shipping supplies. Like I realized I didn't have any good ways. Like I have packaging, but I want something really nice to send it to make sure, because coming from New York, man, I've had plenty of like nice art pieces bent in half by the wonderful people at the post office. So I want to make sure that this doesn't happen to this stuff. Here, I'm gonna solo this out real quick, and I'll show you guys real quick.
Okay.
Just for the insiders here. So this is Rageus's second drawing. Right there.
You got 2 sketch covers?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's a Dead Step, right?
Looks great.
Super quick sketch, man. It's a sketch cover. Took me, it's a sketch. So
it looks pretty good.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. Like I'm digging the character, man. Like I love, I like, especially now that the Punisher, they've like deballed the Punisher, like like now that they've deballed the Punisher, I feel like we've got a good one, right?
Oh my god, dude.
Right?
They butchered Frank Castle.
Oh yeah, they just chopped his dick off. But that's fun. That's okay. I don't mind. Like we're good over here.
It's okay, MK. We'll have that ready by approximately 2025.
2020. Next bull run, bro. Next bull run. MK, as soon as I am I'm gonna take it just like a couple days off from trying to do 18 things just to focus on Web3 Comic-Con, but I promise you're up there, okay? I'm gonna be working on it, I swear. And it's not gonna take 6 months like it did for Rageus, I swear. By this I swear. And
just five.
How many sketch covers are out there?
10 or 11.
Okay.
10?
I think it's like 14. I don't
14?
remember.
Not many. We specifically limited it because I knew that I was gonna take it was gonna take me forever. Only because of all the other. I mean, you see how much stuff we're doing.
Do you have to do them all?
I mean, that was the idea. I guess if somebody wanted, I guess look, if someone has a sketch cover and Avery, you wanna hook one up, go for it.
I would if somebody wanted me to do it.
If someone wants an Avery, I'm happy to pass it. I guess I mean technically it's up to we never specified, right? It's really up to I guess it's up to the owner.
Yeah, let them. If somebody wants one from me, I'll do it.
Right on. Awesome. Thank you for the offer. MK says I swept out one in secondary. Yeah, like we're actually, I think somewhere on our list is also like I think we want to put. I don't hold me to this because I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. But I really actually want to put like a seal, some kind of like symbol on some of those sketch covers, because some of the sketch covers get original artwork shipped to them and some don't. There's like two tiers, but there's no like differentiator in there. KG says I can do it if it's paint by numbers. Nice. All right, so I'm going to share with you guys something that from Flint. Flint can't be here because he's slaving away, but I thought you guys would get a kick out of this.
Okay.
So we're doing let me do some context. So for Web3 Comic-Con, we're going to be doing badges, right? And these badges are using adult fantasy technology. So obviously we said, hey, Flint, you're not doing anything. Why don't you stop playing video games and actually work for once in your life? And he obliged by making the badge. So he's not here. He can't say anything. Hold on. Let's see. Let me share the screen. And okay. So this is the first. So this is the badge, but not in our player yet. This is just a 3-dimensional video turnaround thing. So this is the badge right now. Isn't that cool?
Oh, it's so good.
It's completely realistic.
Are you going to actually make physical ones, or?
Not this year.
Okay.
Not this year. I'd like to. My dream is to do like next year to actually have physical swag boxes. Like if you buy a ticket, we'll send you the box and it'll have like a badge in it, like a shirt, comics, swag from other projects, like all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but so this year, so what this is this is the NFT badge, right? MK says, "Oh, for fuck's sake, nice." And so it's a hyper realistic badge sculpture, I guess.
Yeah.
And there will actually be 15 of them. So, I mean, there'll be 15 designs from 15 different projects. And of course, adult fantasy will be one of them. MK says VIP up in here. Absolutely. Yep. So, we're really excited about this. People are the other projects that we've introduced this to, they've been really responsive. And of course, because it's adult fantasy technology, we can do autographs on the badges. And so one of the things that we'll be doing is the convention will have 2 tracks. There's a main track, which we're kind of labeling a Web3 builder, insider, the people who are really, really into Web3, who want to learn or are curious to learn more about Web3. And that is a very educational track covering everything from community building to IP management, right? So it's geared more towards people who are really interested in the nitty gritty and the building aspect of Web3. There's another track that we're calling the fan track, and it'll be on the site. We're going to be calling it exhibitor events. And so any project, it doesn't just have to be people that speak, but any project that is valid that that comes from legitimate sources, right, can come. And just like a convention, whether it's New York Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con or any convention, you can have a topic. Any project can come in and put a topic, a date, a time, and a description and a link, and we will push traffic as best we can. We'll push traffic to that project so that they can host their own panels, talks, demos, game nights, whatever they want to do. So over that course of the 3 days, August 16th, 17th, and 18th, over those 3 days, you'll have all of these interviews and all of this content that really dives deep into Web3, and you'll have another live schedule of stuff where you can actually go and meet people and hang out. And for the projects that have the badge, they can use the badge as a raffle or a giveaway to get autograph, like team autographs, right? So I can't give anybody away, but if you have like your favorite team and have one of the badges and you go to their event, then you can get like a signed autographed badge, which is pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool anyway. So that is sort of the internal update. I mean, we're really hustling, and you guys will see a big push starting. It'll probably take a little time to ramp up, but it'll be starting next week. You'll start to see a lot of information, and we'll be pushing a lot of stuff out there. We're going to go as hard as we can for a small team that hasn't slept. It's fine. Everything's good.
Everything's good.
Everything's fine. So that is the AF update right there. We're always hustling, and I'll probably post that into we'll have to talk to Flint, but if he thinks I know he's doing another video. So maybe when he gets the second video in, we'll push that one to Adult Fantasy so everyone can see it. But everyone here gets it first, right? So, in other news, there's a couple of really interesting things, and I definitely want to know what you guys are up to and what you guys are interested in. The things that I can offer tonight. So there's a heritage auction, a big premium heritage auction going down. So there's a shit ton of art. And then, a couple of weeks ago, the family and I took a trip to that Marvel exhibition that was in Charlotte. And so I took a ton of photos from that too. So not sure what you guys want to talk about, but we can do whatever. How are you doing, Andrew? You got back from the convention last week. We were at Heroes Con.
Yeah, I had a great time. I had a fantastic time. After driving home, I really thought to myself, I really need to stay that extra day because that's when the deals were happening. But I had nobody to cover the store, so I could only close the store one day, and I had to be back. And sales on Sunday were good. So I'm not upset that I came back. I just wish I could have taken more advantage.
Yeah, so. I was really tempted to, and I probably would have had permission to, but it was like, leaving Melissa again with the kids, and they were going to go to the pool, and I was like, man, I just got to be a dad and just hang out. You wanted to take a break and help out and be with the kids and do what I can to help Melissa out. So I forfeited my a comic book adventure to hang with the fam. So
there was enough going on there. I think discount wise, that if you could have gotten an hour or two, it would have been worth it.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But that's also the enticing part for next year, right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, next year, bigger and better, right?
Yeah. Well, I got a small convention coming Sunday that I'm going to here in town. So.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Well, just a hotel show. It's usually a decent show, and I usually find something. So we'll see.
Nice. All right. How are you doing, Avery?
I'm pretty good. Working on inks for you. The People 2 Ash Can for Lost Pages 3 campaign, and trying to hopefully get on some live stream soon to promote Raid of the White Leopard, because I'd like to get that up there. It's broke 2,000. It's getting made. It's going to happen. It's just I'd like them to make some more money. I'd like to pump that up.
I dig that. That's pretty cool. It's worthwhile. Awesome, man. That's good. I'm glad it's going to get made and it's going to happen, and that it's a good book, man. It looks like a really good book.
Yeah.
Except for that Avery guy. I mean, his art is like,
it's
kind of weird.
Yeah, you always got to take the good with the bad,
Yeah, take the good with the bad.
I got another page finished, waiting on more for the People, hoping Hoping that picks up speed.
They seem, you get one and then it's done, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I get a page, I do it, and then I wait about 3 or 4 days to a week for another page. I'm like, I really turned down a lot of other gigs because I thought I was gonna be trying to bang this out.
Yeah.
I can show the latest page.
Oh, let's do it.
Share screen. Boop.
Here we go. Let's see. Oh, that looks great, man. So, you did the inks over
Dan Dahl's pencils. Yeah.
Pencils. Yeah. Oh, I saw the pencil for this page. He was pushing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. MK says share time is care time. I love this guy. This character is awesome, man. He's like straight 90s, but like the star on the shoulder, like that's really good design. I like that a lot. Yeah, this is really cool, man. Now, when you do the scroll down, like when you do the tech and stuff, are you freehanding that, or do you use rulers and all that stuff, or does it just depend?
It depends, man. Some of it's freehand, some of it I use a ruler. It's a mix. It depends. Like I have no idea where my French curves are, so all the curve stuff is freehand.
You don't know where you're. I got my French curves over here. Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. My style is very rough. Like this is me pushing to about almost as tight as I can go.
Yeah.
And so I don't use rulers on my artwork hardly ever.
Right.
So I don't know where that kind of stuff is. Because I stopped drawing tight years ago.
Yeah.
Like my stuff, especially my backgrounds, are much more gestural and raw feeling. So for me to sit here with a ruler and draw rulered borders and straight lines, I'm like, oh, it feels weird to me because my style is a lot rougher than his.
Yeah. Now, were his pencils really tight?
His pencils are real tight. His pencils are so tight sometimes that I have a hard time inking them because none of my pen nibs make lines that small. Like when I was inking this face, like his pencils, that wasn't a dot, that was a little circle he drew. It's like my pen doesn't make a mark that small.
And you use pen nibs, not like actual pen nibs.
No, I was using like Japanese gel pens and Copic multiliners.
Oh, okay.
And some brush pens. Yeah.
How do you get the thick to thin with the you use the brush pen for the thick to thin?
No. The gel pen will do that. I can build it up. Going back and forth real fast.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, I just started experimenting with on that piece, on the Rages piece. I got to find more of these because like I haven't messed with this touch liner. Dude, this thing was magic.
Yeah.
Was it this one? No, it was
I actually found a Copic pen that I hate.
What's that?
I've actually found a product by Copic that I hate.
Really?
Like I love their markers, I love their multi-liner pens, but they make one pen that's kind of like a fountain pen. It's got a fountain pen tip, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking horrible.
This is the pen. I don't know what this is or where I got it. And now it's going to kill me because I got to find another one. This is a Japanese liner pen. Huh?
It's got a cartridge?
No. It's I don't think it has a cartridge. It's not a Pentel. I've got Pentel over. Oh, maybe it is I can't tell. It doesn't. It might be the same company. because I've got the Pentel right here.
Yeah,
right?
those are great. I love those.
It's
okay. I have one of those. I bought one of those. I can't remember either. You can find.
I kind of think I might have gotten it at Michael's or something.
I have one of those. I got off of Amazon Prime, and I can't use it because when it came, it's dried up.
Bro, the tip is really it looks like it's a hard tip, but and it is, but it gives perfectly. Like one of the reasons I don't brush, I don't like ink with brush is I don't have it's the strangest thing. When I'm inking with a pen, I can pull extremely straight lines, right? Like really good lines. When I try to do it with a brush, I lose it. It wobbles enough where I don't get a smooth, thick to thin, right? This motherfucker, I started and it was and it was like a perfect thin to thick with a fat body and then a taper at the end. It was perfect. I was like, holy shit. I was like, I need a stock of these. I was like, this is incredible. So I'm hoping that the Pentel brush pen will be the same way.
It has bristles.
The Pentel has bristles?
Yes.
Yeah, this has no bristles. This is just like a felt. I don't know what that is.
I love the Pentel brush. You know that brushy style that I do that's a little kind of like John Paulion meets Dennis Cowan?
Yep.
That's what I use for a lot of that look.
I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna actually look at this up. Brush pen. I know it's got to be popular. I didn't go in any I have one. Possibly have is that I went to a
they have those on Amazon.
Oh, here it is. It's like a calligraphy. No, that's not it. It might be a Pentel, but not the brush pen. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now it's gonna kill me because if I don't find this thing, it's
hold on. Let me go through my orders on Amazon. Let me get my phone.
But this is kind of it. This is here. Let me share my screen. This is check this out. So this is not it, but it's kind of it. If you look right there, if you see that tip,
yeah,
is kind of a tip.
Is it Tombow? Is your pin?
No,
Tombow?
It's not a Tombow. It doesn't have it's just a Japanese logo. It looks like a Pentel, like the Pentel signature, but it's a different signature, so it's like a different Pentel brush, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure it's kind of, it's not this. Now we're diving into brushes. But it's kind of in that Tombow vein. It's really close to this. I was really impressed with the thick to thin that I was able to pull with it. So it's probably like a Pentel calligraphy pen or something. Oh, that was a Copic.
That looks like. That looks a lot like what you have.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the felt like the brush at the tip. It's definitely more of this Fudenoki, whatever. Anyway, we're getting deep nerd here, so
yeah.
It was really, I was impressed. I was like, holy crap, really, really surprised me. And I wasn't expecting it. Let's see. Let's see if I say Pentel. We can look at some art or something. Hey, what's up, Carrots?
Oh, it's the Copic that I ordered that I got. It was
The Copic was dry?
Yeah, when I got it.
Yeah, see, this is the Copic that I have. And I hear these Pentel brush, like these big.
Yeah, those are dope. I buy those in black. They're those brush pens are dope, but I don't use them anymore because they're hard to refill. Because you can't refill them.
Who was it? What inker? What artist uses this? There's an artist that does his inks with a Pentel, and what he does is he actually keeps it empty and he dips it in ink. He just uses that. He just uses it as a brush.
Now that Pentel brush pen you have, that's like a pocket brush pen that uses cartridges.
Yeah,
I refill the cartridges.
Oh, interesting. All right.
And those type of watercolor brushes that are brush pens that you fill with watercolor or water to use with watercolors, fill those with the Copic ink. Like their grays and the black ink. It's freaking rad.
I'm gonna have to try that. Anyway, I'm really excited by this. I was like, I gotta find. I got this. I probably got it for $1 somewhere at some cheap store. It either came from Michael's, in which case it's awesome. The thing that I'm worried about is when I was in New York, I went to this Japanese store and I just bought a bunch of random shit, and this might have come from that. And if that's the case, then I'm kind of assed out of luck. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of screwed if that's the case because I'll never find it again.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's kind of now my favorite thing. I was like, holy crap! Like, it's so good.
Oh yeah, because if you could find it again, you'd buy 10 of them at a time.
I'd buy all of them. Like, it was that good. You know, I was like really impressed. And you know, I don't get like, I've never been able to pull that kind of line before. That's the whole thing. It's like magic. I was like, all of a sudden I was like, I can pull thick to thin, because the way that I've always done thick to thin lines is by like doing using a micron pen and going once and then fattening it up and then kind of filling it in, right? Which takes fucking forever on a big drawing, you know?
It can.
It can, absolutely can. So anyway, I'm gonna investigate. I will report back as I search for this magic fucking pen that, you know, I'll probably never find again. But Carrot says, "Did you guys come back with giant bags full of comics from the convention?" Oh, bro, here I'll show you. I'll be right back. Let me go get my stack. Hold on, Andrew. While I'm gone, why don't you tell Carrots what you got?
No.
Besides herpes.
Well, I was getting really close to Todd during the weekend, and I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You got the itchy red bumpies.
What am I doing with my life?
This.
I don't know. Hey, just remember, he invited me to start talking.
Yeah.
I was being nice and quiet, cataloging some comics, doing some work, and he said talk. Well, actually, I do have a couple of comics that he did not see that I bought that I wanted to show off.
Yeah, show them. Show and tell.
Yeah, I'll get there eventually.
All right, well, here,
I'm just checking the prices of some of these and
pretend it's Cam Soda and show it all.
Oh God. Here, I'll show you.
I had to think about that one.
Here, I'll show you. I'll just hold the stack. This was basically.
Oh, I thought for real Todd was about to drop trowel. Okay, it's comics. Okay, I thought, what the hell?
This is my haul.
Damn.
that's nothing compared to mine. I had 3 small boxes filled.
Yeah, he had a ton. Hold on, I gotta go put this back before it breaks my desk.
At least this time they're playing video so you can see it. Last week we were going for a half hour before we realized the live didn't go. It did the countdown, but we didn't go live.
That was all Todd.
That was all Todd.
It's his show, so yes.
It's not
I don't have the controls. I couldn't have done it.
It's not my fault. If we were tired.
I'm not allowed to touch the controls. He says that he's the boss now. I'm supposed to sit here. So.
You heard that, Andrew? Say whatever you want.
Oh, I do. I do.
Whatever, man. Hold on. I'm trying to put the stack to not fall off my table over here.
Yeah, your sack.
My sack table. Yeah, I got a bunch of good stuff, man.
Dusty's like, Jesus. His sack table. He's got to set it. He's got to just set it on a table.
I used to do important things in life.
It hurts. It hurts if it just hangs.
Yeah, he used to do science. Now he does the science.
Yeah. Yeah.
The science. LOL.
So,
I love the science.
So, yeah, we, man, I got some good books. And then my big purchase, which really wasn't too bad, was I got the 7 to Eternity from Rick Remender and Jerome Pena, the deluxe edition.
Yeah,
right?
You showed that off last time.
Yeah. But this thing was crazy. Like the artwork in here, it's all Jerome Pena, and that guy, he's a very interesting character. Like I can look at his work, and this guy, he's obviously one of those guys that doesn't do anything but draw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any of his early work?
No.
It's not good.
Really?
He definitely had a moment where he busted out.
Really?
There's a lot of artists like that nowadays. Travis Charest was like that.
Yeah, he was.
His early stuff compared to his stuff now.
Oh, terrible. Yeah.
Dan Panosian.
Yeah.
Totally. Right. These artists like developed. Who was another one that was really bad? Oh, what's his name? The one who's best known for tracing photos.
What's that?
It's not Greg Horn.
Tim Bradstreet?
No.
Land.
Greg Land. Oh my gosh. If you've ever seen his early work, you would laugh. You would fall on the ground laughing. It's that bad. But yeah, these guys, they took a turn in their art where like other artists we know, like Rob Liefeld, never changed, you know? But hey, I wanted to show you a couple of the comics. The story behind this. I mean, I'm not ruining. None of you guys are coming to the store to buy these, but because some of these became $6 comics up. But I was at one of the dealers. Todd, you'll remember this guy. He was the one that had all the graded Amazing Spider-Man books that we were looking at.
Oh yeah,
had some of them as little as like $30. I mean, for a graded book, it was awesome. We didn't buy any graded books from him, did we?
No.
But he had a nice selection. Well, needless to say, on the very last day, the very last dealer I went to was that guy's table, and he had a box of $2 comics. And I'm looking through it, and I'm like, yeah, I could spend $10. I could buy 5 of these, no big deal. So I was flipping through the box. It was a small box, about half full. And I went through it 5-6 times. And I was pulling out ones that I was interested in, debating. And then I got it down to 5. And then he walked over and said to me, this is your lucky day. And he pulled up another box and he took all the stuff that was in the $2 box, put it in the other box and said, these are now $1 comics. And I'm like, well, hell. So I went back and found all the ones I wanted that I thought were interesting, and I bought all of them. So I bought like 26 more comics. So originally I was just going to buy 5 and give him $10. But instead, he made more than double what I was going to pay. So some of the ones I got, this is a series from DC that I don't know anything about, but I was always interested in the name. The character's name is Starfire.
Ooh.
And this is issue 2. And this is issue 5. This is issue 3 and issue 4. I do have a copy of issue 1 already in the store. It's like a $20 book. But I got another copy of issue number 1, but it's in my stack to be pressed, including, I think this is so cool. This is Walt Disney's Chip and Dale number 1. It's a 12-cent issue, and it looks like it's in fantastic condition. The cover could probably use a quick press, but issue number 1, very cool, very cool. Well, needless to say, I have all 5 issues of the Starfire series. I think there were a few more, but they're decent. They're $10 books. So
who did the art? Those covers look really nice.
Let me see. I'll tell you. she's like an Asian looking character. You know, it's really weird. Nothing like the Starfire you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Published 1976. Let's see. Written by David Michelini.
Ooh.
Oh wow. Mike Vosberg and Vince Coletta are the artists.
Oh.
There you go.
Holy cow, Mike Vosberg is awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, he's well known for his...
You've got a secret gem there.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
that's a title I'm not familiar with at all.
Exactly. And
but the covers look really good.
Yeah,
let me see if I can find where I put it.
If I came across those for like $1, I'd be like, what is this? I don't know. I'm going to buy it. It's $1. Yeah.
Here's issue number 1.
Oh yeah, that cover
was great, man. I love that. Yeah, I love that logo, man.
Yeah, it's very cool. But as you can see, you can probably see close. It's a little wrinkled. It needs a pressing, so I'm going to do that myself.
But it's a good looking book. That's a good looking character.
2 other issues I got were issue number 2 and issue number 4 of a DC comic called. Well, it actually says a DC TV comic called The Mighty Isis.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure. She had her own cartoon. They in the new 52 or in 52, they reintroduced her as like the love interest for Black Adam. But she actually had her own cartoon series back in the day. You know, and these were awesome looking, so I picked up both of them. All right, these are ones that are seriously potential graders just because they look fantastic and they're actually worth a little bit of money.
Okay.
Two Kirby books. OMAC issue number 2.
Ooh, that's a dope.
And OMAC issue number 3.
Very cool.
These are near mint 9.4s, ungraded $30 books that I picked up for $1 each.
What?
So yeah, we'll see what happens. Freedom Fighters number 1, the first appearance of the team, including several of the main characters.
Okay.
You know, first appearances are always first appearances.
First appearances are always first appearances.
Yep.
Every time.
Remember, Todd, how we were saying I was showing you the covers to that Miss Marvel series from back in the 70s, and I said I love the covers. They look fantastic. I actually found an issue number 7.
Oh, no way. Right on. We were talking about this.
Yep. This is right before issue 12 is where she lost her exposed tummy. And issue number 23, I think, is where she got the new costume, the black costume with the yellow lightning bolt, which I always thought was a great looking costume.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic book.
Yeah, MK Modoc's on the cover.
Yep. Yes, he is. This is a series from DC called First Issue Specials, and several of them were like the first appearance of people. This one is issue number 3. It's a 25-cent book. It is Metamorpho. It's a Metamorpho story. The other one I didn't pick up, which I'm kicking myself because this is like a $15 book, was The Green Team. Which, if you're familiar with DC Comics, the Green Team was a bunch of rich kids that had money, and I mean, it was stupid. Turns out that's a $40 book, and I left it behind.
Oh.
Dummy.
I was like, yeah, well.
Just call him a dummy.
Yeah.
Infinity Incorporated.
I wouldn't have picked it up either.
Infinity Incorporated number 14. Do you want to know why this one actually has some buzz about it?
Was it been McFarlane?
It's McFarlane's first work at DC. So
nice.
Yeah. And last but not least for this stack, from Marvel Comics, John Carter, Warlord of Mars, number 1. The first appearance of John Carter in the Marvel comic. Dude, that cover is just...
Get that when you get that grade. Are you going to grade
awesome.
that? I'm thinking about getting it graded just for me.
Oh, okay.
Just because it looks so cool. It
Yeah,
looks so cool.
Can I just say that the art on that is way ahead of the art that was done for the Dynamite the Dynamite.
Oh yes. This Marvel series has some.
I mean,
fantastic
the art in that book was just, it was just bad. It wasn't very good.
Yep. Well, that's because that was all about selling the covers.
Well, the covers are great. I mean, the covers are basically like pure cheesecake. But
well, that's all they were trying to sell. So
yeah, unfortunately, the story inside was just shit. Well, no, the story was good. It was based on one of the great classics of science fiction and fantasy, but the art, the internal art just wasn't very good. Yeah.
Sad thing, this book, first appearance of John Carter in a Marvel Comics. Now, granted, he probably appeared in, maybe a Dell comic or whatever, or a Gold Key comic well before this, but this was his first Marvel appearance. Mm-hmm. Guess what the 9.4 ungraded value is?
$100.
No.
No? What?
Much less.
Oh.
I give up. I don't know.
$12.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's why if I grade it, it would probably be one I'd kept for myself, simply because
the thing is,
even in a high value, it's not worth a lot.
If you don't want it, I'll buy it graded.
I got you. I hear you. Oh, wait a minute.
Because it will look really nice on the wall. That's something you have for your own enjoyment.
Yes. What else did I have? Oh yeah, this is one that's actually put in the stack for pressing.
Uh-huh.
Ragman #1 from DC Comics.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
The first appearance of Ragman.
Yeah, I've never seen that Ragman #1. I remember Ragman #1 from like the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I vaguely remember.
1976. Get that splash page.
That's wicked.
That's great. Who drew that?
Let's see. Created by Kubert and Knitter. Script by Bob Canning. I don't know. Art by the Redondo Studio. I have no idea. Some type of studio.
Early, probably. Well, usually the early days, the studios, I believe, were Spanish or Argentinian or something like that.
Good
possibility.
possibility.
Could be completely off base, but a lot of times I know those studios were like overseas.
Yep. But Ragman #1, the original Ragman.
KG's on it. KG's on it.
Okay.
He's like, Ragman.
It's actually ungraded. 9.4 is a $20 book. But still, first appearance is a first appearance. So I'm going to press it. We'll see how it goes and possibly get it graded just because. So
I'd create a character called On the Rag Man, but I'd probably get in trouble.
Yeah, you probably would. Now I do have a whole another box of comics I've yet to go through and organize, catalog, and price. But those are just some of the ones I did. I got half the box done, half the collection done.
That's pretty awesome, man. Like, you want to pull any more out, or are you just kind of waiting?
No, that's it for now. That's it for now.
All right. Put you off screen here. MK says, so is it the same? Yeah, Carrots. I heard of Ragman, but I wasn't like a big fan or anything. I don't really, couldn't tell you much about him. MK says, so is it the same and they re-released in the 90s?
It was a new series. It was an entirely new series.
That's pretty cool.
It was the same concept, but an entirely new series.
I'm pulling some artwork up.
Avery, do you remember Ragman? Wasn't he a Batman character?
I don't think he was a Batman character.
Because like the Creeper is a Batman character. Because he's in, if you put him under any of the Trinity, he's a Batman character. I think so is Ragman.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think there's something up with those rags. Like he's a crazy dude wrapped in the rags, give him some kind of
powers or something.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know too much about him. It's not a terrible concept, in my opinion.
No, I think he was was he a popular character?
No, he's never been big.
No, he's never been big. No.
Because I know who he is, but I don't know who he is.
Yeah, he's never been big. I don't even think I bought that. Like that was a DC. That was like a DC #1 issue coming out in the '90s, and I didn't even buy it.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to pull up some artwork from the Heritage thing. Some really primo pieces. So if you guys feel like going through some artwork,
feel free.
But I just need like another 5 minutes here.
Did you get any good comics?
You mean from the convention?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? We need to get AF big enough where we have where there's the capital for us to steal some of these properties like John Carter away.
Well, do you need to? Isn't John Carter, and this is maybe a question for Zach, isn't John Carter open
public domain?
Public domain? Yeah, it was. I think it was published in 1911, so it predates World War One. John Carter of Mars. It's a foundational work for speculative fiction in general. Edgar Rice Burroughs. He's most famous for creating Tarzan, but he also wrote a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, it was first created in 1911, so it's almost 111 years old at this point.
Yeah. It depends on when the last book was published. Like anything, if you did any of it under the public domain, you could only do it on certain stories. You couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's been in the public domain for forever. At least the books are. The problem, the movie that came out 5 or 6 years ago, I liked it. I thought it was an okay movie. I thought the title. I thought Disney dropped the ball on the title, but. John Carter of Mars. Apparently, the reason it was originally called a Princess of Mars, and then John Carter of Mars. But because it was originally called the title of the book was originally A Princess of Mars. That was the first one.
Yeah.
For the Barsoom series, and Disney called it. Apparently, Disney's market research said we can't use of Mars in the title. Why? Because apparently girls don't like Mars. Or
what?
Yeah, that's what they said. Apparently girls don't like stories set on Mars.
I want to see the research. I want to see the research on that.
Yeah.
Well, you did hear the story of the reason why the Green Arrow TV series was just called Arrow?
No, I did not. Actually.
No.
It's because Green Hornet and Green Lantern bombed so bad they didn't want to call it Green Arrow because they figured people would associate it with the movies.
Green Hornet.
Really?
Green Hornet was.
That's why the show was just called Arrow.
Jesus. Right,
that's ridiculous.
It might not have been Green Hornet, but Green Hornet wasn't good either.
Well, the problem
the
problem that John Carter had as a movie is that. It's one of the problems I think Dune has as well, and a lot of Isaac Asimov stuff is that it's such a foundational work, and it came out so early that pretty much everyone who's ever written in the field since has basically ripped them off one way or another. I mean, basically, if you look at the Attack of the Clones, that big arena scene where Anakin Skywalker and Padme are fighting those monsters, that was basically lifted wholesale from A Princess of Mars. There's a scene exactly like that in the book. So So when the book came out, I mean, people were saying, "Yeah, this is great, but I've seen this before."
Yeah,
was true because you have seen it in like dozens of other movies that have basically copied it. Same thing with Dune. I mean, apparently Frank Herbert was not a fan of Star Wars because apparently he said Lucas ripped me off, which is true to a certain extent, I guess. There's a plan, but. No. But to answer your question, yeah, it came out in 1911. It's been in the public domain for a while. I think it's as I understand it, it's the death of the author plus a certain number of years. So it's like I think at this point it's like death plus 70 or something like that.
Maybe it's 75 to be honest with you.
Yeah, Death plus 75.
Yeah.
So
we know Superman is coming up soon.
Yeah, well, Superman #1 is coming up.
Yeah,
because it's like I think the way the copyright works is that it's per published work, not like per property. So
right.
Copyright on the comics is going to be for every individual comic. So Superman #1 and pretty much everything after that is going to like.
Well, he couldn't even fly in Superman #1.
No.
Yeah, but who cares? Like we could draw a Superman book.
Well, you know, like the Winnie the Pooh horror movie that came out earlier this year.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was that Winnie the Pooh's copyright finally expired a couple years ago. You know, the original stories, not the cartoons. The original stories by A.A. Milne, which, by the way, there's a whole other story behind that, and how you know the kid Christopher Robinson in that story.
Yeah,
he's based on an actual kid called Christopher Robinson, who was a neighbor, who was like the author's neighbor, and that kid had a messed up life because of it.
Really?
Yeah, apparently people thought he was Christopher Robinson from the story. Well, he's actually no, he's just Chris Robinson, and I'm sick of you guys like constantly bugging me about it. It's like it's like the kid who played like Baby Anakin in like the Phantom Menace.
You know, sure.
He spent like the rest of his childhood like eating buckets of shit from like his schoolmates because of it. Because kids and Todd, I know you're a father, but I have to say it anyway. Kids are assholes.
They are assholes. They're huge assholes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was it? It says, Carrot says, since Zach is a history fan, what do you think of hardcore history of the hardcore history podcast? Assuming you know it.
I like it. I mean, I don't like the hardcore the short episodes he does. I don't think they go into any depth. He's very good at it. He's not political about it too, which is nice. You know, a lot of the history podcasters, they tend to be either mostly from the left, but the guys from the right are also just skewed. I mean, he just sticks to the facts as they are. He's not, you know, he doesn't have an agenda to push. The only complaint I have is that it takes forever for him to put stuff out. I mean, it's like you're lucky if you get like 1 or 2 podcasts a year, like full series. But you know, the amount of research involved is probably a lot.
MK says, LL, my wife and others just needed Mr. Amel doing his salmon ladder climb. Hooked. And then Carrot says, that's how I feel about Snow Crash. I read it so recently that it felt derivative, even though it defined that genre. Yeah, Snow Crash was great.
I mean, well, you know, I mean, I think we had this conversation last week about when we were talking about Dark Knight Returns and The Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of have the same problem when it comes to like pretty much comics made in the 90s and after, is that they were so foundational that pretty much everyone's ripped them off in one way or another, and usually not in a good way.
Yeah,
they've taken a lot of the decorative parts, like the violence, the sex, you know, boobs and bullets. That's, you know, they figured that's what sells, and they kind of miss like the actual story and philosophical approach behind it, which was basically to say, what happens if you take superhero powers and, you know, if they existed in the real world, what would the ramifications be? What would it do to the actual heroes and the people around them? Right. And instead, all we got was, you know, grimdark and, you know, and like female characters wearing swimsuits that who actually won't warm in real life would have them hunched over in pain. And I know this because I've read stories about how they tried to test when they're making comic movies. You know how they always had like them like wearing like really, really skimpy outfits, like ultra skimpy. When they tried like actually wear them in public, you could not move without like basically like violating the nudity laws. So yeah. It's also why there was no yellow spandex in the X-Men movies. Sorry, I just had a big bowl of ice cream, so I'm on a bit of a sugar rush right now. And
no, you're good. And
also, we've had thunderstorms like for every day, and it's actually like booming outside right now. So I'm just waiting for the power to go out.
Hold on, I forgot I have to log in.
Yeah, we had some boomers out here earlier this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's through here too.
I'm sick. I'm so sick and tired of it. I want my summer back.
It's been almost 2 weeks of like daily thunderstorms.
Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah.
I mean, it's raining here too in North Carolina.
Nobody cares.
And work's really slow on the web design front. So I really need to get outside and just take my mind off my troubles.
Yeah,
because it's like cheating rain outside.
Yeah, I don't mind if a comic's just tits and bullets. Like it doesn't bother me if that's if that's all it is. If it's done like if it's self-aware like Lobo.
Yeah, I mean Lobo's okay, but yeah.
If it's like we know what we are, it's fine. Like I'm totally into it. Like bad cheesy horror movies that's just like TNA and gore. I'm like I'm down.
Well, I mean I'm thinking more on the lines of like some of the stuff that Marvel did, like Cable, the original version of Cable, before like they actually kind of humanized him a bit, or like some of the stuff from Top Cow. Like I tried reading The Darkness, and I'm thinking this is just juvenile. Oh, it's written by Garth Ennis. Never mind.
Yeah, right, exactly. Hey,
it had pretty art. It had pretty art.
Oh, the art was beautiful.
All right, you want to see some? Speaking of art, you want to see some artwork?
Sure.
All right, so
if
this
you don't
is.
mind, I'm gonna mute because it's thundering outside again.
Okay. Oh, actually, Carrots has a question for you, Zach. Really quick. He says, as a writer, do you collect any non-comic books?
Yeah, I've got like 3 bookshelves groaning with like paperback novels that I've been collecting since I was like 12.
What are your favorite authors?
Oh Jesus!
Like for fantasy and stuff. Like what do you really get into?
That's impossible to say. I've got so many. I'd say
like ask him which one of his children does he love more. Todd?
If I had, it's like if I had children,
you have to have a favorite. There's somebody you put
I do.
Everyone else.
Okay, well
I do.
I'd say J.R.R. Tolkien, but that's kind of everyone's favorite. But
then that's your favorite, dude.
Well, no, I mean actually, my favorite author growing up was probably Robert Jordan. But after the way that Amazon totally butchered the books in that travesty of a TV show, kind of ruined it for me. I like George R. R. Martin. He's okay. He's he is what he is. I like to see him finish the damn series. I mean, it's just something that like you had like 8 seasons, like 7 seasons of Game of Thrones, and he published 1 book in all that time. Raymond Feist, a favorite author growing up. David Eddings, favorite author growing up. I'm gonna catch some shit for saying this, but I'll say it anyway. I liked the Twilight books from like Stephanie Myers. I mean, if you're just looking for something like turn off your brain and read stuff, that's it. Not a big Harry Potter fan. It's just too British for me.
MK, what's Le Hustler?
What?
What's Le Hustler? MK says Le Hustler.
With Le what? Le Hustler?
Le Hustler.
I have no idea.
Does he mean Larry Flint?
Probably.
Yeah.
That's my favorite author.
Actually, I mean, Neil Stephenson. I'm not a fan of Cryptonomicon, but I'm a big fan of the Baroque cycle, which is, well, it's hard to explain. Like most of like Neil Stephenson's books, it's very hard to explain. And Guy Gabriel Kay, of course. And I could just keep going on and on and on. Yeah.
I like Michael Crichton, Dean Koontz, and my all-time favorite authors were Deborah and James Howell.
You know what I love about is the like Daytona has one of the biggest flea markets in the country. I think it's like nothing but it's like literally like 3 miles of aisles, and they sell everything from guns and ammo to like knives to shower curtains. But my favorite is that I think there's like no less than 2 or 3 comic book stores in that place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like actual, it's like your place, Drew. Except it's only open on the weekends, and they must sell back issues. But there's also a bunch of guys who basically sell used books, and there's always stuff by Dean Koontz and Michael Crichton available.
Oh yeah.
I used to read a lot of Penthouse Forums and Franz Kafka. Is that weird?
No.
Is anybody going to ask me who Deborah and James Howell is and what they wrote?
No.
No one knows what that is.
Well, are they from Gilligan's Island?
No.
Okay.
The Howells. Yeah.
They wrote the Bunnicula series.
Oh, that's a good series.
I don't know what
it
that
is.
Yeah, that's a
about
good
the
series.
Dracula.
That's a genuinely
the
good
vampire
series.
bunny rabbit.
Yeah, it's actually a very good series.
It's a good series. And you haven't introduced your daughters to that yet.
They love the cartoon. The cartoon's excellent.
They gotta read the books.
I have no idea what that is.
Holiday Inn was a great book.
They're just starting to learn how to read. Carrot says you're allowed to like Twilight books. I like Ready Player One. It was basically Twilight for us nerds. Yeah, I actually love the audiobook. I've listened to the audiobook for that.
If you guys want me to give you a quick tour of my bookshelves, I can. But I think Todd wants to show his art.
Mm.
I mean, I can open up StreamYard on my phone and show you.
No, sorry. MK, by the way, Avery. MK says, Avery, my boy. he apparently, the hustler, you nailed the Larry Flint reference. And Carrot says, Seven Eves is great, not a great ending. Yeah. And Carrot says, okay, so Carrot says definitely a tour later if we have time. So he's
all right.
He wants a video tour.
Okay, I'll set it up.
We'll set it up. Well, while you're setting it up, we'll look at some artwork, and that'll be a good setup. So Zach will set that up. That'll be fun. And in the meantime, so there are a few pieces in here that I'm kind of drooling over, unfortunately, because I can never, these things are just ridiculous. All right. So first up, this is Lynn Varley.
Oh, the color, yeah.
The original colors to Dark Knight Returns, which Dusty's actually reading right now. So this is the original painted artwork for the comic.
Oh, wow.
So she hand paints all her stuff. So it's a piece of acetate with Frank Miller's inks and the text, and then she paints on the board underneath. Right?
Yep.
And right now it's like, it's going for $5,000. It's going to go for 10. Her work has exploded lately. There's some pieces in here I warn you that you're going to freak out about. Let's see. Let me try to. So John Buscema. Dude, look at that shit, man. Are you kidding me? Artist, he actually Tom Palmer. Tom Palmer was I think his best inker.
Look at that dry brush and feathering and
right,
and then zip tone patterns, and all that zip tone's still on there. So
it was done well.
Yeah,
look at that anatomy, dude, just crushing it. Right.
Yeah, we got to pick an AF character to do a short story for something in the back of something else where you pencil it as much like that as you can, and I'll ink it with a brush. And do lots of feathering.
I'm down. Let's do some experiments. Yeah. Let's see. So this is John Buscema, Tom Palmer. Look how clean this page is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's been a long time since I've used almost pure brush, except I wouldn't use the brush on the technical stuff like that background. But the figures would be almost all brush.
Look how good this inking is.
It's beautiful.
God, look at that. Oh, that's a crazy panel, dude. Nobody does panels like that anymore. So good. Look at the hands. This is John. I mean, I know John Buscema always said that he thought his personal favorite was Silver Surfer, but man, I don't know. Like, this stuff is top notch. And then look at this on the back, because he used to sketch all this stuff on the back. So you got like a Captain America sketch up there that's kind of light. Look at that. Oh, just a completely random, like, super quick, perfect anatomy, anatomically correct Captain America back. Like, geez. Unreal. The guy was a legend. He really was Michelangelo of comics.
Yeah, true.
John Byrne, Terry Austin. This is a Marvel preview story for Star-Lord, but it looked sick, so I was like, well, I'll
Well,
look at that. Look at all the zip-tone on that one.
Damn.
Because it's underwater, right?
Yeah.
You would have like you would have the haze of being underwater, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be like clean; it would be kind of dirty water. So they put a tone on it to replicate that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I tell you what, a John Byrne is on my wish list. That's a fantastic looking page.
Isn't it great?
Yeah. Actually, I think I'd like an Alpha Flight page, to be honest with you.
Alpha Flight, yeah.
Yeah.
Another John Byrne, Joe Rubinstein. I gotta keep reminding myself to. Oh, look at that guy. Oh, so good.
Todd,
Yo,
as far as doing like a tour of the books, can we see that for next week? Because I really it's. Let me put it this way: there's literally like an inch of dust in some of that stuff, and I don't want it to look bad. So
no, we'll do it next week. We'll give you time.
thank you.
Carrots is asking Dusty, Dusty, you keeping notes for Christmas gifts for us based on everything we're showing you? We've been sending Avery's been sending Dusty like basically a comic book library.
Yeah, I've got another book to send him. That yeah.
This is a great page.
I got to send him that a Killing Joke.
Oh yeah.
I'll be right back, guys.
No worries.
Okay.
Look at that.
Frank Frazetta sketch.
Yeah, isn't that great?
It is.
Man, I could do that.
It's so
Shut up.
perfect. Look at the water. It's like a few little colors, but it looks like water.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like nothing there. That's when you know you're a master. When you're just like doing the bare minimum, but it's like
Perfect.
That's like a layout, right?
yeah.
What's the size?
It is 5 by 6 inches.
Yep. Small, really small.
Yes, really small, 52K. The down here, his painting, one of his actual paintings, this one.
That's one of my favorites too.
This one sold for 6 million.
Jesus.
6
one sold-
million?
6 million.
Wow.
It's a shame. He did well in his life, but it's a shame he didn't do this well in his life.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it still going on? Is this sale still going on? No, it said. Anyway, it's also like this one was like 5 million, 5.4 million. This one.
That's the one with the mummy princess. That's an extremely well-known one.
This sold yesterday.
That's on the cover, by the way, of Molly Hatchet. Good Southern rock album.
Right on. Yeah, this sold yesterday.
Wow.
Hey,
That's
what
awesome.
does layout mean?
It's just a thumbnail sketch, a rough idea. Like you can show people, hey, this is what I'm planning on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like your sketch, right? A layout is like before you jump on a big canvas, or even like even with the comic pages, like a layout is like kind of rough sketching, so you kind of know where everything is before you go in heavy. You know, yeah, $6 million for that. Gorgeous painting though, like holy shit.
What size is that? I'm always curious about the size.
No comment. This one's big. 25.
That's what she says every night.
25 by 31.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, framed.
Eight-
Create an oil. It's
24.
18 by 24.
Oh wow.
It was not bad at all. 18 by 24.
You know, you see some pieces of art that you like. They're like masterpieces. They're ones you've seen numerous times, and then when you see them in real life, like Ayla and I were shocked when we saw Starry Night.
Yeah.
It's
That's
small. It's like half the size.
Yeah,
It's
tiny.
very, very small to the point where you're like, holy crap.
That happened to me with Dali's Persistence of Memory.
Yeah.
You know, the one with the melted clock and all that.
Mhm.
It's this big. It's
Yeah.
tiny.
It's basically a person.
Absolutely
Yeah.
micro. That's a gorgeous painting, man.
Mm.
All
That's
right,
that's the original.
Yeah, that's the original.
And it's sold for 6 million. Seriously?
6 million. Yeah. This is another Frazetta gorgeous sketch. 21. His sketches are selling for 21,000. So his market's huge.
I mean, who's selling this? The family or just
I mean, these things are everywhere now. I don't think it's just the family.
Well,
I mean, if you look, he only has a painting show up at auction once every couple of years, right?
Well, that's the thing. There was I think a couple of years ago, there actually was like a serious show of fantasy art at a museum. Mainly because like artists like fantasy, they're the really only ones who are still doing art the old-fashioned way. With actual figurative art, and not like just like not like rubbing excrement on a screen and calling it a. What's on her ass?
A ball?
It's her bikini-like bottom.
Oh, all right. Well, that's interesting.
Is that Jones?
Yeah, it is. Hey, I'll be right back. One of the kids is screaming. I'm just gonna go check. I'll be right back.
Now, it is a shame Jeff Jones never saw this kind of success.
Here, I'll leave this up. I'll be right back.
Her light, Jeffrey Catherine Jones. It's hard to. But anyway, they were amazing and brilliant, and one of the best fantasy painters ever. And it's a shame.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though, is because it's always weird that the things that were considered worthless, or next to worthless when they were done at the time, are now only in retrospect seen as valuable. I mean, remember, Frazetta was basically a cover artist, and cover art was considered, he was basically a commercial cover artist, and really up until fairly recently, if you were a commercial artist, you were seen as kind of like not being a real artist,
Yeah.
I mean, quote unquote real artist. I mean, like
Frazetta made good money. He got popular to where.
Oh no, that's not saying they don't get paid. They do. I mean, commercial artists actually can make more money than fine artists because, unless
used to they could. Oh man,
not anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, but back when they had movie posters and album posters, and covers actually painted.
Yeah.
Some of those artists got like $100,000 a pop.
Well, that's how Andy Warhol started. He started. He made his name in the 50s, basically as a cover artist. He was like one of the first guys who really started doing the blotted line, as a standard technique, and he tried to break into the regular New York art market at the time, but it was still dominated by the abstract expressionists, and they wouldn't give him the time of day. It wasn't until pop art came along that it was able to kind of segue out of commercial art and into and then it became Andy Warhol. But yeah, that's the thing though, is that like I said, there's a market for this stuff now because, well, for one thing, these guys. A lot of these guys were they're still doing old-fashioned art. With figurative art with perspective and actual draftsmanship and so on. Whereas a lot of artists today can't do that anymore because it's all about, I don't know, giant petrified sharks in glass tanks. So on.
But Jeffrey Jones was an amazing painter. Oh man.
And
troubled.
I never got into painting. I never was very good with the color stuff. So
I love painting. I would love to do a painted comic.
Oh, I've seen them. I've seen them done. They're
it's just the time.
It's a lot of time and a lot of work.
So
I remember
Hughes?
Avery's painted cover. Avery's painted pages were fucking sick.
I would love to do a painted book of something, but it's like money and time because it would take me like a week per page.
Look at that.
Maybe things will work out where it can be done.
If there was one comic I liked growing up, I always liked the Elf Quest. I always liked the Elf Quest books, like the original. Yeah, by the peonies. But that was before they got into they got really weird, into the weird sex stuff. That kind of turned me off.
Oh, Adam Hughes, Hellboy.
Mm-hmm.
Super juicy.
Todd, everything all right?
Yeah. You know, just kids screaming. They're assholes. It's fine.
What your daughters are trying to murder each other?
No, just you know, they want to hug and they want to play and they don't want to go to bed and that kind of stuff.
All right.
Look at this. Look at that Kirby face.
Yeah. He had a he why his face has always had that really square look to him.
Yeah.
No, it's a Kirby.
Yeah, he really just kind of did his thing. I've been looking at a lot of his some of his panel work. I really love the square panels, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know it's from a more of a like a
I prefer storytelling this way. But thing is, people want flash, so you've got to.
Can I ask
you can have one panel that kind of flashy and then go into like your squares.
Can I ask you, you artist guys, a question? The Kirby dots. He was famous for that.
Kirby Crackle.
Yeah. How do you do that?
You just draw circles.
That's
Just
it.
lots of circles. That's it.
You just draw big circles because what it is you're not drawing the black. You're drawing the energy. That is crackling energy.
Yeah, he I mean, he really did invent the language of comics.
Yeah.
Like
because everybody uses it today. Everybody.
Yeah, that looks like fire and energy.
Yeah. And it's dots. Mike Mignola's whole style's based on.
Pretty much. Look at this.
Oh wow.
It's a Kirby pencil. Look at that. So good. He was like when he was working on it, he really was good. You know, like he clearly wanted to make this nice, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
I'm fairly certain I've seen that one before.
It's a cover.
There was a collection of Kirby work that was at the Atlanta Comic-Con that one year that I went by with Jason.
Yep.
And I remember seeing something very similar to this there.
This was colored. The other one I didn't click on it, but it was colored by what's his name? Ken Stacy, is it?
Oh wow.
And it's Tomorrow's Publishing. It was probably for one of his. It was for the Jack Kirby collector, which is why he drew it really nice because it's for all his collectors, right? Like that's him taking his time. You know what I mean? Like really, really good stuff. This is Adam Kubert, Onslaught. That's pretty nice. A little more modern, right? Yeah, pretty cool. All right. Quietness from the Peanut Gallery. Eric Larson, Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, there's the page.
Yeah, that's good.
I love, man, the more I look at Eric Larson's Spider-Man, the more I dig it. You know?
Yeah.
Solo down there. So that was one thing that I actually picked up from the convention. I picked up a bunch of early Savage Dragons. They're really good, man. I'm kind of really, they're really surprisingly good. Better than I remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, the said these were really wild prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the stuff really gets up there.
It really does. I mean, especially now, like, you know, it took decades and decades and decades. All the stuff we're looking at, like, you could have bought like 10 years ago for a couple grand at most. You know what I mean? But everything's, I mean, it's one of the, I don't know if this is a positive or negative. When the world has no more use for the thing you do, it becomes fine art, right? And so now that comics are kind of like mainstream comics are kind of going away, all that classic original art and all those comics are going through the roof. because now people realize that it's kind of like limited supply, and there's not going to be many more new comics from at least from Marvel and DC, right?
Yeah, and some of these masters, well, they're gone.
Yeah, look at this, Jay Lee. Look at that Wolverine.
Wow, that's cool.
Isn't that cool? Look at all the little detail, but it's like, it's just really good. Just sketching it out, man. You know, I love this style. I love this era of Jay Lee's work. I think it's so. I like it more than the stuff he does now with the pencils.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, his stuff now is way more refined, but it's too pretty. You know what I mean? For me. All right, here we go. We got some X-Men, Jim Lee, classic stuff. Look at that.
Yeah, that looks great.
I know every line on this page. Like,
oh yeah,
any of these Jim Lee books, I memorized every single line.
Because we poured over those comics, man.
Poured over them. I still own them. I still buy them. You know, Carrot says, has the comic slowed down the past 18 months to 2 years like most other collectible niches? Yeah, no. It's yes and no. Like modern comics, like the stuff that comes out weekly, it's dead. Like it's pretty much, I mean, they still make them, but nobody buys them. With that said, people like Andrew kind of called it early, and all of the back issues, all of the classic books are flying off the shelves. Like there's actually kind of a boom going on right now for
back issues.
For back issues, yeah. Look at this Uncanny X-Men Jim Lee, dude.
Because there's a lot of fans that are not, they don't like the current direction of these companies. So they're buying all the back issues that they missed.
Yeah.
Stuff that came out before, or stuff series that they missed at the time, because, you know, like I didn't read Avengers. So I tend to buy Avengers from the 80s and 90s now.
Yeah.
Because I didn't read Avengers back then. I read the books.
And a lot of the people that are buying these pages are our age now, right? They're older. Mm-hmm. They've had businesses or whatever. They've saved their money. Who knows? But they now have the funds to purchase the things that bring them joy, right? And so these pages, all this art stuff is going for a fortune. Like this is a gorgeous, gorgeous Jim Lee page, man. Like classic Jim Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, sold for $15,000. Right.
I prefer that Jim Lee over most of his current stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Although I did like Hush, but if you look at like the Superman, you know, the new 52 Superman and stuff, his Uncanny X-Men run is his best stuff.
His Uncanny X-Men run was so well done, and so it was like just enough detail, but not too much detail.
Yeah. Like
all his newer stuff is more fine art. Like it's the same guy, it's the same stuff, but you'll see there's a shit ton more lines. Yeah. Yeah, MK says they no longer have to be closeted fans either. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, now it's like all cool and hip and stuff, you know? Like we were picked on and the nerds and just kind of like, you know, at our, it was just like 4 or 5 of us sitting at a like lunch table by ourselves in high school. This is a sick Jim Lee.
It's where we turned to all the people picking on us and said and whispered to each other, one of these days we'll rule the world.
Yeah, like Pinky in the Brain.
That's right.
This is like crazy. I don't remember Deathblow looking this sick, man. That's pretty dope.
That was not a favorite Jim Lee of me.
No.
I did not like when he was doing Deathblow.
Well, because
I know what he was trying to do.
This is him doing Frank Miller.
Yeah, I know. And you don't combine those two. They don't.
I like it.
Make sense.
It's pretty fucking sick.
Honestly, it looks more Jay Lee than Frank Miller to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I could see that. That's a great looking page though. Like I that makes me want to look at Deathblow. I haven't looked at Deathblow since it came out.
Not one that I'd spend 20 grand on. So
no. So here's like one of his newer Jim Lee's newer stuff, right? So like way tighter, way more lines. I mean, it's still gorgeous, right? It's absolutely beautiful, but it's like way more stylized almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, he sucks. Move on.
Dude, shut up.
Like, look at that. Like those lines on the leg for the highlight of the like that's all. I mean, it also Jim Lee was also the huge beneficiary of having the best inker in all the history of comic books.
Scott Williams is pretty good.
He's fucking amazing. Like he's just an artist with ink. Like he's so good. And so it's Jim Lee who's a phenomenal artist.
Yeah.
With another phenomenal artist, you know.
Yeah, and Scott Williams now draws like Jim Lee.
Of course. Well, he's only been drawing Jim Lee for 40 years.
Yeah.
MK says, "And the geek shall inherit the earth." It's true. Yeah. So here's a more modern Jim Lee. Again, cool, but it almost feels a little more not stiff, but like it's not as experimental. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't have the same punch as that X-Men page, right?
True.
And I don't know why. Because really, technically, it's like a better drawn page. I don't know.
It's almost the difference between a page of art for telling a story and being art, and a page of art to be sold.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Like this is clearly
that's definitely merchandising art.
Well,
right
these guys created the whole. Like I was thinking about this week. There's actually like 3 different chunks of storytelling phases. Like it was coming up because I got this at the con as well. I got it for $1. But it was like it's totally worth it. Let me find the one page. Yeah, like let me show you this real quick. Like if you look at the way that Kirby did his layouts, like Kirby invented the language of comics, right? It's almost always squares. He has he either does a 4 grid or a 6 grid, and this is a 6 grid where he just combined the top panel so to have a layout, right? Every page is like that. Like he doesn't change that formula, right? I mean, he varies it for sure. Like he's a genius, so he doesn't. It's not boring, right? It's basically big pictures. And I also understand when I see it like this in full color. I totally understand why someone like Lichtenstein, they look. Each panel looks like a painting, right? And so I totally get it. So this was the original language of comics right here, and I think it's kind of perfect. I don't think you can break it. And then when the '90s guys kind of came in, the Jim Lees and all those guys. They kind of invented they modified it where they realized that these pages were going to be sold. And so they were like, well, you have to do your best to have at least one panel on the page be the thing that sells the page. Right. So this is not about storytelling, right? Like if you really look at this, like there's no storytelling on this page. It's like 2 characters looking at each other.
That page is literally a t-shirt design or a
t-shirt.
lunchbox or a
right.
poster for somebody's room.
That's right. Because what they realized when Jim Lee started doing this stuff, because I think I kind of give him credit for it, those images were the ones that would get cropped out and put on t-shirts and backpacks. Like this image of Batman and Superman right here is probably on a backpack somewhere or a book cover, right? So all these guys in the 90s decided that every page, as much as possible, at least multiple times per book, would have at least one panel that was like the giant selling image. The
money shot.
The money shot. They called it the money shot.
And the royalties they used to get, man.
That's right.
The royalties for the art being used on promotional products. The royalties for the comic sales. Because the comic, Mark Texeira does Sabretooth #1. Makes like he doesn't even care about the page rate of $1,000 a page because of the royalties he's getting. He's going to get like 40, 50 grand
right
for his royalties because it's going to sell like 300,000, 400,000 copies.
That's right. And so these guys were like the second era of storytelling in comics. And then I feel like the third era in comics was the era that we're kind of coming out of now, but people still try to use, which is the movie shots where more widescreen, trying to make it look like storyboards. And I don't know, I prefer some combination between Kirby and like the really almost like the comic strip panels and this, right? I mean, I totally understand needing a money shot, but you can't beat Kirby's. Like here, look, another one. This is just 2 panels on this page, and it's going to sell for only $3,000, which is surprising. But it's Superman Unchained, so it's a fairly recent book. But then you look at the detail of the ink work, right? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's fully rendered. Like you got Superman in the background back there, and then whatever. Like, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely insane because we're talking about Scott Williams, who's like a fucking genius with ink. I mean, look at that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just ridiculous. All you have to do is draw, ink pages for 40 years, all day and night, 7 days a week, and you can do this too.
Well, wasn't that the whole point about that generation of artists? Is like McFarlane, Jim Lee, Scott Liefeld, or is it Liefeld or Liefeld?
Rob Liefeld, yeah.
Rob Liefeld and all the rest. Is that they went crazy in on the details. I mean, it wasn't just like just a simple line. They would right down to the point of like they would like draw out each individual fingernail.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that was because they were a product of the generation that had better print quality for the pages.
Quality. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Like, go ahead, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. The printing process and printing capability had changed so much that you could reproduce those lines. Because in the past, in previous generations of comics, in the 50s, all these super fine lines would have either become a smudge or disappeared completely.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even see them in the old style of printing on the very early newsprint. It's like they would just be gone. Or they would become a mush.
So like that, in other words.
Yeah. Well, this is Frank Miller.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's why his drawings are so simple.
Yep. He was because it was also a different coloring process. They could only take so much, ink on the page, and he knew that there is something to be said for the rougher the image, the more action it has, the more life it has. Right? Sketches have more life than tight drawings. Like this running with a fire has more life than this to me. Right? This is better drawn.
Yeah.
Technically, right? There's more energy, lines, and all kinds of shit. But this has more energy. Like actual power. Right?
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
It true.
This is George Perez. Perez. That's really and Joe Sinnott. It's such a good cover.
Yeah, it's got more motion in it.
Right? So good. Like look at the composition of that cover. Just tells a story, right?
Yeah, it looks good.
I like that when the comics when the covers were basically like a full splash panel.
Mm-hmm. That's something we really need to make sure we do.
Absolutely, bring it back.
Bring that back.
22,000 for a John Romita Senior page. Oh, dude, I love me some John Romita Senior. Look.
Oh, he was amazing. It's sad he passed.
I know. He was in his 90s though. Look at that.
It's still a loss.
Yeah, of course it is. He's a genius.
Oh yeah.
Look how good that is.
I was looking at some stuff online of some of the pages he inked of Gil Kane, where he was inking Spider-Man and inking Gil Kane, and like, oh my god, dude, he made that.
Oh yeah.
Bill Sienkiewicz.
New Mutants.
Yep.
Look at that. He brought fine art into comic.
Yeah. He really brought a lot from fine art and illustration.
Like, look at that, the face inside the face. I really miss this kind of comic as well, man. You know what I mean?
Me too. This type of thing is a lot of what I was going to try to do with my book.
Yep. Yeah, I think it needs to happen. This is actually, it reminds me of the way you used to do stuff, Avery. Like, you used to do like painting stuff in the corner and like bringing stuff out, you know?
Honestly, I was never a fan of this type of comic.
Oh,
but I do appreciate it so much more now.
Right? Yeah. Like, it's just that the floor, he drew this room, right? And in this room, it also is Legion's shoulders.
Yep.
And it also acts as panels for this tree coming through and this, like, that's just a crazy composition, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got some graphs over it for whatever reason, just to do it. Yeah, that's a really cool. That's a really crazy panel, like book. That's a crazy thought out.
Yeah.
How much is that going for?
It sold for $93,000.
Holy crap!
It's Legion's first appearance.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Legion's first appearance.
Still, wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
There you go. look how good that is. His face is all in shadow, and you still know it's the Kingpin.
Exactly. You know exactly who it is. And it's loose and it's sketchy and it's scribbly and it's highly stylized yet very realistic.
Yeah, man. God, he just doesn't give up.
One of my favorite pieces of art from Sienkiewicz is he did the illustrations and the spot illustrations for a book called The Unauthorized Biography of Santa Claus. Full color, beautiful illustrations.
Oh yeah, those are pretty.
We had the book. Me and the kids had the book. We've actually read it together around Christmas time. But his work on that, just fantastic. Every single, even if it was just a small little spot illustration, was awesome. Some great stuff.
Yeah, it's so good, man. This thing is so fucking good.
Barry Windsor Smith.
Oh, so good. Weapon X.
Yep.
Not as detailed as some of his other covers.
No, but it's still good.
Oh yeah, he's another master. Won't see covers like that anymore. Let's see. Alex Toth. This was his later stuff. I wasn't so big into his later stuff, his 80s stuff. He was getting a little more cartoony. But still brilliant.
Yeah, he was still one of those guys that was like Kirby, you know, just everything would be perfect. Like there would be nothing there that you didn't need.
Yeah. No, he's a master for sure. His stuff is untouchable. I think he had something broken within him. Mad Love, Harley
I think
Quinn.
I think a modern Toth artist would be like Somni.
Yeah.
You know, just love the way they put down blacks. You know.
Yeah. Andrew always has to be putting down the blacks.
Damn.
Can you kick him from his own show, Dusty?
I'm really tempted right now.
Where's Ramel when we need him? Anyway, it was a setup, man. It was a layup. I can't resist. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna cut Zipatone into a crosshatch pattern. Damn.
Was that? Yeah. Yeah, you see that, right?
Yes. Like that was okay, that's a simple image. But I guarantee you that was a pain in the dick to cut that out.
Yeah, he had to draw the thing and then cut it out over the drawing and then take that and put it over here, like, or something, or do it right over. He basically inked it in Zipatone.
I wonder if that's on that board that's chemically activated or if that's cut out Zipatone.
Well, it's like white up here, so it looks like it was
cut out.
He did it somewhere else and then cut it out so that he wouldn't fuck the page up.
Yeah, but still, that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, well, you look, he actually did it. Was this twice?
Yeah, he could have just been like stat. He could have just literally wrote stat. And and they would have statted that in production.
Yeah.
But no, he did it 3 times.
I'm trying to see if this is like, so this one over here on the right is a stat, I believe.
Okay. I understand. I totally understand it being a stat.
Yeah.
Jeez, what a pain in the ass.
Brilliant, right?
Bernie Wrightson?
Yes. Look at that.
Another genius who's gone.
I know. Bye, KG. Thank you, buddy. Happy weekend. Happy Friday.
Later.
Look at that. Now, this I was actually curious about just because I've seen a lot of books.
Mm-hmm.
Platinum edition. Okay, that's why it's a platinum edition. I was like, why? I've seen 9.8s. Like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, I was gonna say we saw one guy that had a bunch of graded copies of this. And I think he was selling them for $175 a piece, but I think it was the standard edition.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, why is this going for four grand? And it's the platinum. It's the rarest one, I think.
Have you seen the Spanish variant? I don't know when it came out. I think it's recent. For X-Men number 5, the Jim Lee X-Men number 5, it's Omega Red and Wolverine fighting, that profile shot of them fighting, dude, and Omega Red's on top of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a foil edition.
Mm.
It's like metallic foil. Dude, it is badass looking. It is freaking sweet.
That's awesome. Yeah, these platinums go for a couple grand, I think.
Wow.
Interesting.
Heck, and we were butthurt back then. We couldn't get them for a couple $100. We couldn't afford them. Now you kind of wish, I wish I just found a way to cough up to $200.
I know. Look at that. There you go, Andrew.
Ooh, good page.
Art Adams.
Long shot.
It's one of Andrew's favorite books of all time.
Oh, it's a fantastic comic.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's super good. So interesting to see his stuff. Like I still obviously recognize the Art Adamsness in it.
Yeah.
But it's so different than, it's like so not what he does now, but so the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The same but different.
Same, but different.
Yeah. Chris Bacalo. Or Bacalo. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
I don't either.
That's a cool page.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I don't know. The modern stuff doesn't hit as hard, right? It's so weird.
Some of it doesn't. Some of it does.
There's okay. So
Mark Beecham. Oh, that dude's badass.
Yeah, dude. I'm jealous.
Wow.
I want this so bad. Like this. So this guy was the guy we met when we were kids. I mean, he was very obvious. You know, he had some. He drew very attractive women in suggestive poses.
Lots of camel. Dude drew lots of camel toe.
Lots of camel toe. Yeah, but holy shit, he was good. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at that. And it's actually like this page right now is $650. Now it's going to go higher. It's absolutely going to go higher. But damn, dude.
But I'd pay $650 for that. Absolutely.
11 by 14, 11 and a half by 11 by 15. So it's comic size, right? Like, man, that is just gorgeous. You know, it's still got the tape on it. Like he never took the tape off, or maybe he just like taped it up. I would love like his Sam Marie stuff. Man, that would look good on a wall.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Melissa would let me buy something with like giant camel toe. But,
yeah.
You just put a little sticker over it. It'll be fine.
MK says
or something.
MK says 0.5 ETH mint. I know when you put it like that, it's like cheap. It's only 0.5. You know, I'm sure it'll go up to an ETH, but man, it's really tempting because that's like, I got fun. This guy really helped me out personally. Like when we were at that convention, he spent the whole time talking to us and like letting us go through his portfolio, and just the guy's pages was fucking insane. I mean, imagine seeing this and you're like 14 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 15. I was like, holy crap. Like I couldn't even process what this guy was showing me. I bought like everything. I wish I had this book still. I bought everything he had on his table.
I still do somewhere.
Yeah. This is another thing I want. I can't believe it's only $1,000. This is a Jordy Bernay torpedo.
Oh wow.
Look at this. Like this is brilliant work. Look at that. So Jordy Bernay is kind of comes out of that Toth.
Yep.
Toth model, you know? Like just brushy and quick. Man, I respect it so much because I just have so much trouble doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks really quick, but then look how accurate it is.
Yes.
Right? Like it took time to draw it, but then he inked it like almost like as fast as possible. Just super good, man. I love this stuff. I would love one of this guy's pages. Bull Run needs to come back. John Buscema, Klaus Janson, which is why I did it early. But look at that.
Damn.
Just twisted bodies everywhere. Look at that, dude. Just twisted bodies.
And look at those brush strokes. Like they're not even perfect, but they're perfectly weighted.
Yeah. And you can totally see it as a
It's
Jansen. It looks like Jansen.
Yeah, yeah, because you could tell it's like it's a brush that's like heavily loaded with ink, but he can control it.
Yeah, like on the muscles right here. Look at that.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, man. I'm gonna try the next drawing I do. I'm gonna brush first, use them like my brush pens and brush first, and then go back in with ink and do that second.
Yeah, do your finer details with a pen.
Yeah, like with a nib or something. Look at that. That's a She-Hulk.
Yep.
Scroll back up. Oh yeah, that's John Byrne, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the. I would say him and Perez were some of the first detail guys.
Yeah.
Really.
I remember that famous cover that he did of She-Hulk, where she's like basically like holding a piece of paper over her while the artist breaks breaking the fourth wall on the cover. Like,
yeah.
Like, calm down. We got like 23 more pages to fill. Something like that.
Yep.
Wasn't the story behind that She-Hulk was basically because they wanted to protect the copyright? That's about it, right? Because the TV series was so popular. The Lou Ferrigno series was so popular at the time that they were afraid that
yes,
whatever network was producing might try and like.
Same thing with Spider-Woman, and they did She-Hulk and Spider-Woman and all as a way to protect the copyright of the main characters. Because they made the Hulk, and anybody else could have come out with a She-Hulk.
Yeah.
So,
look at this Wolverine, dude. Alan Davis.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
This is $500 right now. You know it's going to go for more.
That seems cheap.
That seems way cheap.
Avery, he was at the show.
Okay.
Alan Davis was.
Oh, cool.
Todd and I spent very, very little time in Artist Alley. We were too busy looking at comics.
Yeah, we spent the whole time looking at comics.
Yeah, I know, because Todd didn't even see somebody we went to high school with that was at Artist Alley.
Yeah, well.
Who?
Shane.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well. Shit. Shane Doverly was in Artist Alley?
Yes, he had a table.
Well, next year. Look at this. Jose Garcia Lopez. That guy never got his due, man, in my book.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Here's a couple. Here's another. This is Atari Force.
That's the stuff, dude.
Atari Force was his best to me.
Like I wasn't aware of Atari Force when we were younger, when we were kids. But looking back, now that I've seen it, like now as an adult, I'm like, oh, that's totally where Jim Lee got Zealot from.
Oh yeah, 100%. Look at that. How is it just not a classic?
Yeah, I didn't collect Atari Force when it came out, but I found it later in discount bins.
Have you seen the weirdos online simping for the current Zealot outfit and shitting on Jim Lee's old art?
Oh, well, that's just stupid.
It's like, dude, like really? Like, no, this is way better than that image trash. It's like, dude.
You don't know. Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
It's like, there's something wrong with you. The new Zealot outfit is terrible, and the artwork for Birds of Prey is terrible. Whew. Horley? Or
Yeah,
Biz? I think it's Horley.
Horley. Look at that. I just don't understand how these are painted.
Layers.
Lots of
Dark
layers.
to light. Lots of layers.
Yeah, lots of layers. I fucking love this painting. Can I tell you how sick that is?
It is sick. I like it too, dude. I like Venom that when people take the time to do Venom that way.
Yeah.
With like this like cartoonishly huge upper body.
So good. $3,000. Not bad.
Dude, that's cheap for something like that.
It is. I mean, it'll get bigger, but you know. So here comes all the people selling Dale Keown pages because I thought the omnibus was coming out.
God, I hope he has scans of all this stuff.
Look at this. I would buy an art book of this in a heartbeat.
Uh-huh.
Right? And the artist edition. Like, without question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really upset. I'm gonna have to watch that stream. I had no idea. I was wondering what happened to it. Look at that. Look how good that is. Nim, we're getting down. Look how gestural that is.
Oh yeah, for Dale Keown now, this is loose. This is minimalist.
Oh yeah, he's ridiculous now. That's why I don't think he could ever do another book. Like, I mean, it'll take him years. I'm sure he'll do one because the money's there, but it's going to take him years. That's crazy. That's really cool.
Like look at Adam Hughes' Justice League, which he was on a monthly book, and then look at his stuff today. Like, Justice League's incredible. It's fantastic. His Justice Leagues are great. Yeah. But the stuff he does now, he couldn't do what he does now on a monthly book.
Oh, 100%. Look at this Kubert.
It's great.
Oh,
Joe Kubert is amazing.
Fully painted, just completely gestural.
Todd, I have the new Zealot design if you want to see it.
Okay. Here, you want to take a break from this real quick? There's only a few more pieces in here. Do you want me to do it now, or do you want to wait?
That's fine. Good.
Just wait for a second? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have the original first appearance by Jim Lee and then her current design.
Yeah.
Show you the comparison.
Okay, this is a page that I want. Like, this is gonna kill you.
Oh, the Jim Lee Wildcat, the Jay Lee Wildcats.
Jay Lee, it's the trilogy. It's the trilogy cover.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I recently bought those again, even though I know I have them somewhere, just so I can have that dope ass chromium. Like,
yeah. Look at this.
It's so dope.
I want this cover, bro. I want this cover.
Yeah, I would own that. I would own that.
It's so good. Oh, it's so good. I'm really upset that this is going up for auction right now because I can't do it, but I really want this.
It's just a little credit card debt. I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what your credit.
Sell some NFTs, bitch.
Thanks, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this?
Burn? No.
Is that a Jim Lee?
This is Jim Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, early Jim Lee.
This is Jim Lee's first stuff from Alpha Flight.
Yep.
He definitely got better.
Oh, so with all these you own, tell me they don't end up in boxes or hidden on shelves. How do you display? I have so many comics, they have to be in boxes. There's no way to display them all.
I have a store to put them in.
Yeah. I have some boxes, but what I used to do, I did this in high school, and I'm about to do it. I have a wall over here off camera, the wall that I face. It's got a Kirby like a piece on it, but
it doesn't.
You're right, it doesn't. I'm actually gonna do so what I used to do in high school is I had a comic book wall, and I would just like take the comics in the bag and backboard and pin them to my wall and just like use it as wallpaper basically. And that way I had my collection on the wall, and if I wanted to go look at something I could see it instantly and pull it off. So I'm gonna do that again, like basically wallpaper this whole wall back here with comics. I'm sure the kids will dig it, you know. And it doesn't hurt the comics. You're just pinning the board, like, you know.
Oh, you can put up little rack things that'll, like, it's like a little rack shelf thing that it'll hold it.
Yeah. You could do that too. There's an original Wildcats.
Oh, that looks great. That's pretty good. See, I even like this better than some of his more modern stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little looser.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a little looser, isn't it? All right, so there's a Mike Mignola coming up that I'm kind of freaking out about. That's pretty cool. This one's really cool too.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He loves that Higgins ink, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, because it doesn't print like that.
Yeah. MK says, "What a great idea for a shop! Comics and coffee. Grab a book from the pinned wall." Yeah, exactly. That'd be cool as hell. So nice. And then, okay, so I think it's the next one after this, but this is super sick too. This is a Lobster Johnson original.
Rock lobster.
Yeah, the ink style works for him, I guess. You know, like the loose kind of.
Yeah, well, it reproduces flat black, so.
Yeah, and I guess it gives it a little more painterly. It makes his stuff look less minimal, right?
Yeah, but you know, when that sees print, that'll all be flat black. It's all adjusted out.
Yeah. And he's using a technical pen, like a Micron for that shit, isn't he?
Something.
It's pretty technical looking. It's not a quill pen.
No, he doesn't. I don't think he uses those anymore.
Really cool though. I love how the cards behind him are black and the ones in front are white.
Yeah.
It's really cool. All right, so this one, I was like, what is this? And then I was like, oh shit, okay, this is cool. Let me Are you ready for this?
Yeah. Are you ready for Bonesaw? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I like that Wolverine.
I know it's his more modern style. He did it last year.
That was part of his COVID quarantine sketches.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, he did a whole series of them.
I know it's a little more of his like broken body style. I don't know what you want to call it, but
yeah, it's weird. Everybody's built like an old man.
yeah, it's got like triangle torso. But I don't know, dude. His Wolverine is the best. I love that wooden looking totem in the back.
That Wolverine Savage Land book he did.
Well, Wolverine Savage Land is the best book ever.
The Jungle Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jungle Adventure.
Which you can find that book in 50-cent bins, unless you used to could.
Andrew
I
almost did, didn't
found 2 copies.
Yeah.
You found 2 copies?
Yeah.
I thought you found 1 copy.
I don't like you enough to share with you.
Jeez, you didn't give me the other copy?
I gave you money while we were there, remember?
I gave you room and board.
I know.
Let me see how many copies I have of Jungle Adventure, Todd.
I know. No, I think I have a copy. That's not the point. I want more copies.
I also got a copy of Gotham by Gaslight, too.
Damn.
Yeah, I got it for 50 cents.
Dude, that's one we need to send to Dusty.
That's a good book.
Is that going in the store?
Probably. It's got a bend in the cover. So I probably wouldn't be able to send it for too much, but
it's a reader copy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Jim Lee Punisher War Journal. Look at that. Look how good that is.
Yeah, I like the stuff. I like his loot. I like it when his stuff's a little bit looser.
Right? It has more energy. It's got more life to it, right?
Yeah. Some of his newer stuff is too tight.
He was drawing the boots really realistic too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just more. It feels alive, right?
Yeah. And the style, like the way the pants are rendered isn't rendered the same way the tree is rendered, isn't rendered the same way the alligator is rendered.
Right.
And that matters in a heavily detailed style.
Yeah. So these pages are going up. Like this is already only for $3,000 right now. It's gonna jump to like 10 because it's a John Romita Sr. Look at that. This is the stuff I love. Look how heavy the heavy blacks. I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just gorgeous.
Oh, the heavy brushed feathering and
yeah. Oh, look at that guy. Look at that guy. Oh man. The light source.
All right, Todd, you got to kind of hurry this up. We're already after 10 now.
All right, I got 4 more. Couple more. Couple more.
Some of us have to work in the morning, you know?
Look at this.
John
Romita Jr. But good John Romita Jr.
What a great page.
Right?
it is. Boom,
That's
there
a
he catches
great
him.
page. Like that's just a really cool page, right?
Spidey's jumping all around him and then boom, catches him.
His style is just so he's got a really good streamline. When he wants to, he has a really great streamlined style.
Yeah.
Right?
It also depends on who inks him.
Yeah.
No, the Hulk, all he has to do is just squeeze. No more Spider-Man.
Flat.
And this was beautiful. I was like, yeah, this is great. Look at this.
Oh wow, John Romita Jr. and who inked it?
I don't know, but whoever did this look at that. That's a great job.
I think it says at the top.
Let's see. Hold on. Scott Hanna.
Here we go.
Look at that. That's just great, right?
Uh-huh.
I love the way he draws like Spider-Man knees and calves.
Yeah.
Like the square and then the big bowed calf is really cool. Look at that. That's just a great. I mean, the thicker ink in the front, and then it just like kind of like feathers out. That's really fucking cool, man. I could look at that, and the weight on the underside of the calf is just great.
Mm-hmm.
I could stare at this page all day. Like I don't know when it's like look, it's simple, but you can see it from a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he was doing really good work, man. You know. All right, couple more here. It's Bruce Timm, Mad Love. Really good stuff. Early Bruce Timm.
This stuff's pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see.
Some of his artwork, some of his best stuff you can't show on here.
Yeah, I know. There were some that there's always some that I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. Now this one, I kind of drool over because I actually have this book and like I kind of want this. This is from the Alex Toth Reader.
That's so good.
He's a genius. Like, just to show, because it's hard to see when it's up close like this. Like, just from a distance, look at that. Like, look how realistic that is. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything just flows. That's just, I can't even describe how difficult that shit is. All this stuff is going to go for a fortune. I know it's got 1 day left and it's only $1,600. It's got to go for way above that, man. Like, this is like a well-known image.
$1,600. That's worth it.
Oh hell yeah. No, it's going to go for at least 5.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it going for less than that.
What's so crazy is when you zoom in, it's like it doesn't feel like there's a lot there. Like if you zoom in really close, each individual thing doesn't make a lot of sense, and then you zoom out, and it's just beautiful.
It's almost like photorealistic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's a master, and his Zorro stuff is just incredible.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good. Like he was just a master of light and shadow and form, and his stuff is like deceptive in its brilliance. Like the reason he's a genius, and like he may have, I think he might have been on the spectrum a little bit. Like he can't, like you can't. It's no one's been able to replicate Alex Toth's flow. Like his figure work when he draws is so natural, and what makes it even harder is that like one of the reasons you do this, like add a lot of detail, yeah, it looks cool, but it also hides a lot of the nonsense that you're actually drawing, right? Like these lines that are going around help your brain make it round, right? But it's not round. I mean, it's really, and these aren't really muscles. Like they're suggestions of where muscles should be, but they're not like exactly anatomically correct. It's just a suggestion, right? With Toth, it's perfect. Like the way the foot, like the back foot is leaning in and he's leaning forward, and then the leg comes forward. The arm is coming straight out, but the hand is bent out because you would joust a little bit to the side, right? And it's just like the cape flowing and everything else. Like, and he did this all day, all night. Like once you start looking at his books, especially as an artist, when you're actually trying to do the thing, like it's insane. It's not normal. And I spent way too many years trying to get some of that, and I was just like, I can't. Like you just give up because you can't do it. You know what I mean? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's like he was just an auteur, I mean, he was just insane. It was really crazy shit. All his pages, everything he does is like, for as far back as he started, like he was just never bad. At least in published work. It was crazy. And he's the guy responsible. He then went over to Hanna-Barbera in the 80s. And so he's the guy that designed Super Friends. He worked on Scooby-Doo. He worked on Space Ghost Coast to Coast. He did all the humanoid, all the humanoid Hanna-Barbera characters, right? Like he was the guy who did like all of that shit. And again, it's like super minimal, but they're perfect drawings. And you're just like, how does he do this? It's like no sketch. Like he just does it, He's a weird auteur, but one of my all-time favorites. Anyway, that's what I got for the art. So there you go. Let's see. Andrew's got Zealot up here. So there's your first appearance of Zealot, right? The double-page spread.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was her first appearance, and this is her current new design.
Yeah, her old design is way better.
But all the weirdos are saying this is better and Jim Lee's trash.
I'm actually okay with this design.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
It's just that's samurai. Not Zealot, That's somebody else.
But yeah, plus the art style is boring for these characters. That's not boring. That's exciting.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. It's like everyone. Yeah, MK says old design totally. Like I don't actually mind this design. I mean, there's no skin. You're not allowed to show a woman with skin anymore, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass. But people, they're look at that. Yeah, they're everyone's covered head to toe except for. I mean, even Black Canary is pretty much covered. But like, it's. I mean, you would never mind. You would think that it's turn of the century where a woman's not allowed to show.
Yeah, but look at their big Barda.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I like the drawing. I mean, I actually like Romero, the guy that drew this. I actually like him as an artist, but like, I don't mind the costume. The thing is people go back to the '90s version. MK says she's more katana in that cover. Yeah, 100%. Like, people are like, oh, showing sex and blah blah blah. First of all, bathing suits are a thing, right? Like bathing suits are a thing. Second of all, when you're designing these costumes, it's not just about like, oh, let's show some TNA, although I'm sure that's part of it, but like it's because the colors of the skin, like the colors and it's a graphic medium. The colors balance each other out. These are graphic shapes so that they pop off the page so that you look at it. That's why she has these weird wings in the back that don't make any fucking sense, right? Because they look cool and graphically it looks badass. Like, right? It's not about being functional, having like weird bladed boomerangs sticking out of your back in weird angles. That makes no fucking sense, but it's not supposed to. It's graphically interesting, and it drives me nuts. Go back to the other one. That's boring as shit. I don't mind it. It's still cool. A great drawing. It's a good character design. It's just boring as shit for her.
Yep.
You know?
It's too bad. All right, guys, I gotta go.
All right, see you, Drew.
Love y'all. Talk to y'all later.
Later, man.
All right, get out.
Out.
Get out.
Oh, pussy. Oh, sorry.
Later, Andrew.
Later, man. Well, guys, MK says goodnight, Drew. That's what I had. What do you guys think? You guys have a good week? Everything's good?
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd. When we're offline, I need to talk about something real quick.
Oh yeah, sure, of course.
Right.
Anyway, I guess with Andrew gone, should we wrap up? We should probably wrap up. We did a good 2.5 hour stint. So
Yeah.
But well, everybody, thank you so much. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, MK, Carrots, everybody, KG, everybody's showing up. Thank you as always to everyone except Dusty. Dusty wants to go so bad. To be fair, I know he's been grinding in the background. So
yeah, I've been sending out Web3 Comic-Con invites and chatting with people.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Awesome. All right. Well, love you all. Night, MK. We'll see. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday. We will see you next week. Next week, big stuff with Web3 Comic-Con. So stay tuned. And we shall see you guys later. Bye-bye.